And like I said in my previous videos, if you're not a good runner, make sure you pair yourself up with an average runner and stick with them. So basically, if you're not the best runner in the world, you're a slow runner, you don't obviously want to be paired up with the fastest runner. If someone can run a 1.5 miles in 9 minutes and you run a 1.5 mile in 15 minutes, that's not going to happen. You can't suddenly drastically reduce your time by 6 minutes in 2 months. That's not going to happen. But if you pair yourself up with an average runner who, like me, can run a 1.5 miles in 12 minutes, you can cut your time in 3 minutes. That's an ideal goal. So make sure you pair yourself up with a average runner. So next thing, the biggest thing is in boot camp, put out. A lot of the times there were people who failed their final PFA and multiple retakes. So you don't only get one try at your final PFA, you actually get multiple attempts. Now, the people throughout boot camp who hated running, didn't want to put out, didn't want to give it 110%, because if you give it 100%, that's great. You did what you can. You did what you know that you can, but if you give it 110%, you went above and beyond what you know you are capable of doing, and you grew. You improved. That's my idea, that's my opinion, that's my philosophy. Now you need to put out, because the people who failed their final PFA and got held back and didn't get to graduate on time were the people who didn't put out while everyone was doing the exercises. They didn't put out while everyone was running. They didn't put out when the RDCs were making them and were focusing on them. And they just gave up mentally on making it. So the last thing is academics, right? Academics is extremely hard to fail. Now I know that some of you guys have language barrier. Now I personally had someone that had a language barrier in my division. Actually a good amount of people. Some were from Africa that spoke French. So they didn't really speak English all too well. There was someone from China. She didn't speak English all too well, but they just had a basic communication. They had a dictionary, and they could just do the basic thing. But even they passed without a problem. The people who failed the academics, to fail the tests, were the ones that were disruptive during study time. All they did was talk and laugh, and they just didn't pay attention. Now, it is extremely hard to fail the test. It is extremely hard. They give you a lot of time to study. They give you a lot of material to study. You see the study material so much that you will memorize the question and the answers. Okay, it is that simple. It is extremely hard to fail. Now, you don't have to be a smart person if you are afraid that you're academically you feel like you're not smart enough. That is not the case. These tests are designed, in my opinion, pretty much designed for you to pass. So study tips for you to, let's say, if you want to improve your score or get higher scores, you are able to get note cards later on through boot camp, which I highly recommend. It does give you a great study tool, and also study with others. And I especially emphasize focus little by little, and it's because so throughout boot camp you get a lot of little times while you're waiting. You're going to be waiting to eat. You're going to be waiting to get into class. You're going to be waiting to do something. You're going to be waiting for further instructions. You get, let's say 5 to 10 minutes of waiting times throughout multiple times throughout the day. And so, a lot of times people just open the book, pretend that they're reading, but while actually they're not. And, I would highly recommend that you use those little 5-10 minute focus, 5-10 minute waiting periods to focus on, let's say, one paragraph or one sentence or one vocabulary. Okay, so if you guys watch this video over and over, hopefully when you get to boot camp, you will remember what I said and you will remember the tips that I gave you here today. So in the end, enjoy your time in boot camp. Don't worry so much. If you go in worrying, if you go in knowing that you feel like you're not going to make it, I would say chances are you're not going to make it. When you get to boot camp, enjoy every single moment and have a positive outlook whenever you take on each and every single day. Okay? So when you are in boot camp, make it an effort to keep a journal. Write down your thoughts, feelings, emotions, what you do every single day. Keep a journal. I always do highly recommend you have a journal. I personally do have a journal right here. This is the journal that they issue you out in boot camp. And as you can see, I wrote in my journal. And I read that periodically and get to see what I was thinking and how I grew as a person, as an individual, and make memories, guys. Boot camp is very short. It goes by very, very fast. Make memories. It's a once in a lifetime thing. Okay? So make memories. Now, guys, for those of you who are physically fit, you know what you're doing. Help others. Like I said, there's a lot of people who are physically not confident in their abilities, and they just need extra motivation. Like I said in my previous video, on my final PFA, I made an effort to help others by helping them run their final PFA with them. And I said to them, hey, you guys, you two, just follow me. I keep an average pace. I'm not a fast runner. I'm not a slow runner. I'm an average runner. And if you just follow me, I guarantee you, you will pass. And actually, by the end, on the final lap, they actually went in front of me. I keep an average pace, and I also have a watch just to time myself. And, by the final PFA, they actually made an effort, gave it 110%, and they actually beat me and they passed. So make an effort to help others. So guys, if you liked what I had to say today, subscribe for more future videos about Navy boot camp. I will be putting out more information on that. Press that like button and leave a comment for future videos, or if anything, if you want to ask me anything, leave a comment down below. All right, guys, thank you and have a great Navy day.